It started with a dare. Deep in the forest, hidden behind decaying trees and overgrown vines, was an abandoned rest stop infamous among locals. The legend went that anyone who dared to use the filthy, decrepit toilet inside would awaken something, ancient and hungry. They called it the Toilet of the Dead. "You won't do it," Kyle teased, holding up his flashlight with a grin. "Bet you chicken out before you even sit down." Emma rolled her eyes, snatching the flashlight. "If I do it, you're paying for pizza." The group laughed nervously as Emma stepped inside the mold-ridden building. The stench hit her like a slap in the face. Decay, sewage, and something worse. Something alive. The light flickered over cracked tiles and an old wooden stall door hanging crookedly from its hinges. "Gross," Emma muttered, gagging as she pushed the door open. The toilet was a nightmare, stained and crawling with what looked like black worms. But she wasn't about to lose face in front of her friends. She lowered herself onto the seat, holding her breath. Then she felt it, a squirming. Before she could react, something shot up from the bowl. A wet, rotting hand clamped around her thigh. Irma screamed, trying to pull away, but the hand's grip was iron-tight. The toilet began to gurgle, black sludge bubbling up as the stall walls warped and pulsed like they were breathing. Her friends burst through the door, shouting her name, only to freeze in horror. From the toilet rose a grotesque figure, a bloated, undead corpse with stringy hair and hollow eyes. Its body twisted unnaturally, and its gaping mouth leaked a foul, black liquid. It wasn't alone. The walls cracked open, releasing more of them, zombies dripping with filth and excrement, their gurgling moans echoing in the tiny space. One of them crawled on the ceiling, its head swiveling unnaturally to leer at the group. "Run!" Kyle shouted, grabbing Emma and dragging her out as the creatures clawed toward them. Outside, the group sprinted for the car, but the undead were faster. They poured out of the restroom like a flood, their bodies dragging sludge across the forest floor. One by one, the zombies began to emerge from the earth itself, as if the ground had been infected by the rest stop's curse. Kyle and Emma made it to the car, slamming the door shut, just as a zombie launched itself at the windshield, its decayed face pressing against the glass. "We need to leave," Emma screamed, but the engine wouldn't start. The last thing they heard before the car was swarmed was the deep guttural roar of something massive rising from the restroom, a final nightmarish creature with a body made of sewage, bone, and screaming faces. The curse of the Toilet of the Dead had been unleashed, and no one who entered would ever leave.